Now let's talk about third-party risk. This risk arises when a customer is onboarded or serviced through an intermediary, such as an introducer, agent, or business partner. While these arrangements can support growth, they also introduce additional complexity and potential control gaps. When clients are introduced through third parties, the overall risk depends heavily on the quality of that third party's AML controls. If their standards are robust and consistently applied, the risk can be managed. If they are weak, informal, or poorly enforced, your institution inherits that weakness. A common mistake is relying too heavily on third-party due diligence. Some institutions assume the introducer has already done the necessary checks, but responsibility never transfers. You can outsource tasks, but you cannot outsource accountability. Your institution remains fully responsible in the eyes of regulators. That's why clear written agreements are essential. They must define AML responsibilities, information sharing requirements, and escalation procedures. Vague arrangements or informal understandings are not acceptable in a regulated environment. Even with contracts in place, ongoing oversight is required. This includes reviewing the quality of checks performed, testing samples, and in some cases, auditing the third party's processes, especially when they operate in high-risk jurisdictions. Regulators expect evidence that third-party risk is actively controlled. They will ask for proof of due diligence, contractual arrangements, and monitoring activities. The rule is simple. The relationship may be shared, but the risk remains yours. Imagine a bank onboarding a client through a foreign introducer. The introducer provides full KYC documentation, and the bank accepts it without further verification, despite the fact that the client is from a high-risk jurisdiction. This introducer brought so many good clients before, so the bank trusts his judgment. A year later, the client is linked to a sanctioned entity. When regulators step in, the bank cannot shift blame. Responsibility always sat with them. The takeaway is clear. Third parties can save time and resources, but without strong controls, they can expose institutions to serious compliance failures. 3 things to remember. Responsibility never transfers. You can rely on third parties for support, but accountability for AML compliance always stays with your institution. Weak controls create inherited risk. If a third party's AML standards are poor, their weaknesses become your problem. Oversight must be ongoing. Contracts are not enough. Third-party relationships require continuous monitoring, testing, and documentation.
If you found this lesson useful, you'll find the full Anti-Money Laundering Basics course linked below. It includes all stages, red flags, and practical exercises to help you build real compliance skills.